And we are live. Welcome on to the first episode of Thursday Night DFS Betting NFL Preview. I'm Matt Gannon. If you don't know me from the NFL scene, this is because it's my first time doing it as a paid gig. I have covered golf for the past year with Fantasy Points and with JerseyBetting.com. So most of you guys probably know me from golf, but if you don't, hello, I'm Matt. So follow me if you don't. Probably are confused where I am. If you're used to seeing me, I'm in a different spot now. What a day for me to not have connection at my own apartment. I had to go to my friend's house. So shout out Kyle for that. I literally went on to log on to do the show. No connection at all, like zero Wi-Fi. Called Comcast. Obviously couldn't get a hold of them. So it is what it is. We prosper. We're here. It's NFL season. I'm excited. You're excited. So enough talking. Let's get into the slate. I'm going to bring out DraftKings right now, and we're going to go game by game and just break down what I like from betting-wise, what I like DFS-wise, stuff like that. If you're watching this live, feel free to drop a comment. If you're watching this on playback, hopefully you get something good out of it. And I hope this mic is you can hear it well because I'm literally holding it. I'm used to having it on a stand, but it is what it is. It's a new week. We're ready to go. So Bills and Rams, game one, Thursday Night Football. I'm excited. The Bills are actually road favorites, which is when I first saw that line of a few weeks ago, I was a little bit surprised, but I agreed with it, even though I think the Bills are going to win this game. But Super Bowl champions, Rams, are they going to have a little hangover? Possibly. We'll see. So Bills are 2.5 point road favorites. The total of that game is at 52. So what does that mean? Do we think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game? I don't know. These are the two of the better defenses in the league, but also two of the better offenses in the league. And obviously, it's the NFL. It's a passing league. Good offense usually beats good defense. But looking at the DFS aspects of things, we have two. I wouldn't even say we have two. I would say we have one playable quarterback in Josh Allen going against this this LA Rams defense. So when we look at Josh Allen, he's not even on here because I'm on the wrong slate. Whatever. Hold on. Let me get to a different slate. Josh Allen. Let's go to this. This one lineup that I drafted already. All right, he's not on here. All right, so I'm just going to talk about the game. Josh Allen, I think, was a good play, and you could stack him with a few guys on this Bills roster. So whatever you want to do there, I think is a solid game. I think this is going to be a good over game for sure. And I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I actually did place one bet on this game. Actually, I teased the Rams with the over. I don't usually tease single games, but I thought it was a good play in that aspect of things. So let's move on to the next game. And there's actually one game on the slate that I actually love for DFS more than anything, more than betting. I'm going to stack it very much. So we'll go on to the next game. So we're just going to go right down the slate, and that's Saints-Falcons. But bear with me as I bring in another contest because I want to bring up the full slate. Yeah, I clicked the wrong slate before. That's why. Here we go. Nope, it's UFC. Let me bring in a new contest. Here we go. I don't care which it is. I just want the names there. There we go. Okay. So Saints-Falcons. I don't really have much to say about this game. I don't know if there's anything you want to play in this game. So QB-wise, Mariota, is he going to prove something? I don't know. I don't think he will going against this team. This is just an ugly game. If anything, it's Jameis, and then you match up Jameis with Jarvis Landry with his first game as a Saint. I think people are a little bit too high on Michael Thomas this year. I think he's a great fantasy pick, but I don't know if I love him at that price point. I mean, 57 is not the best, but I feel like it's pretty fair. I'd go with Jarvis at 5 flat rather than Michael Thomas at 5.7. So, and then betting wise, I don't really love anything in that game. The line on that game is the Saints are 5.5 point favorites at the Falcons, who are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. So, all right, we'll go right on to it. We'll move on to 49ers at Bears. Ugly, to say the least. Very ugly. Let me pull up this game on the slate. 49ers at Bears. So, what do you want to do here? The highest priced player in this game is Debo. And it's a $1,400 gap between him and Trey Lance. I think that's very fair because what have we seen from the 49ers the past, year and a half, it all runs through Debo. So I think that's very fair, but they did say that Debo would have a significantly lower workload this season, and especially earlier in the season, running the ball less than he usually does. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if you going to want to pay 7-4 for Debo when you can get a few elite guys for a few $100 cheaper. Anyone else in this game? George Kittle is like so interesting. Besides being questionable, he's going to play. But I don't know how much you can trust him with Trey Lance at quarterback. So this game is ugly. It's a low total for a reason. What's the total on this game? The total on this game is 40. Yeah, that's on the lower side. I would hit that under if I had to pick a side. So I think this is an all-around pass from DFS, from everything. Let me zoom in also so you can see. All right. Next game down, we will go talk about Steelers and Bengals. So that AFC North, that is a very interesting division. I think it's a very coin-flippy division. So what did we see last year? We saw 4 teams separated by 2 games. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens, the first place and the last place team, were separated by 2 games. So what does that mean? Whatever team got in from that division was like just a ticket to maybe make it to the Super Bowl, get hot at the right time, and that's what the Bengals did. They got hot at the right time last season, and you saw they won the AFC Championship, got all the way to the Super Bowl, were fairly close in the Super Bowl, didn't happen. So the Bengals and the Steelers. Let me pull them up on the DFS slate and see if we like anything. Bengals and Steelers. So there's a lot more jump pricing this game than we saw last game. Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase are the highest price, followed by Burrow. If you're gonna play this game, it's gonna be a Burrow Chase stack. I feel like that's gonna be fairly popular. I would go Burrow Higgins just to get slightly different, save some salary. But I think Mixon is the play if you want to do anyone in this game. I think it's Mixon. I am so high on Joe Mixon every single year. A few of my friends kind of clown me for being as high on Joe Mixon. I draft him in fantasy. I love Joe Mixon. He plays well. He scores touchdowns. He gets the ball in the red zone. So I like Joe Mixon a lot. Down here, is any other pivots I would like from this game? I mean, we know what we're getting with the Steelers running back situation. It's Najee Harris, and then it's kind of like it's Najee Harris 90%, then there's like a platoon of guys. So it's going to be Snell second for sure. Yeah, it's going to be Snell. And then Anthony McFarland from Maryland. I like that kid. He got a bit of run last year, but I actually think 4K is like too expensive. I know, whatever. All right, we'll move on to another game. Eagles at the Lions. Let's pull up their DraftKings slate and see what we got. This game is going to garner a lot of public attention. That's because of what we saw from Hard Knocks. The team that plays on Hard Knocks always gets a lot of love. I mean, it makes sense, like the public perception. Oh, I still have this game pulled up. So Philly and Detroit. Jalen Hurts is going to be so popular at 6'8". But here's what I'm going to say. Jalen Hurts, what does he have? A million weapons, and that's why everyone's so high on the Eagles this year. I'm just going to run through the Eagles' skill positions. So Jalen Hurts, obviously, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders. That's legit. So Jalen Hurts has no excuse. And just like Tua, who I'm going to get to soon, Jalen Hurts has no excuse. Do you want to play him at 6'8", think he can prove a point? I'm going to pass. I don't think Jalen Hurts is the right guy to play in this situation because I just don't think he's that guy. I really don't. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope Jalen Hurts proves me wrong, but I'm going to take the wait-and-see approach on Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to play him. I already know who my nuts quarterback is for this week, and we'll get there. But I do like one of these Detroit receivers because I think Detroit's going to be playing from behind, going to have to throw, golf at that. And I don't hate Swift either because Swift is a pass catcher. Swift's going to get a lot of touches. I'd rather have a receiver in the Detroit game on the Detroit side because they should be playing from behind. So that's my thoughts for that game. We'll move on to and I'm going to try to be pretty straightforward, get to the point. No reason to bullshit around. Let's get to the point, talk these games. And if I have any bets too, I will throw them out there like I did in the first game. So we'll talk about Patriots and Dolphins, and I'll pull up the slate for the Patriots and Dolphins. So AFC East match, I think these teams are going to finish. I think the Patriots are actually going to finish last in the AFC East. I talked about that in my AFC East preview. So Patriots and Dolphins, Tyreek Hill is the most expensive guy at 6'8", followed by Jalen Waddle at 6'4". I'm happy this game is next because this is the exact conversation I just had about Jalen Hurts. Tua has no excuse. I'm going to click off the Patriots. Look at these weapons that Tua has. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Chase Edmonds, Mike Gesicki, stud. Zamir, he's got weapons, and we know what the defense is. The defense is legit. What did they start off 1-7 last year and then finished 9-8, something stupid like that. They got hot. They were just short of the playoffs, and they should have great vibes heading into this season. Similar to Jalen Hurts, I don't love Tua. I just don't love Tua. I love his weapons. I just don't love Tua. So that's what if you think Tua is the guy, then play him. New England side of the ball, let me look at the numbers for this game real quick. Let me update myself on the spread and the total for this Dolphins game. All right, 46-point total. Miami's 3.5-point favorites. I feel like that's very fair. Can you play any New England players? Can you? They're cheap. Do you want to play a 4'8" Devontae Parker, who is head and shoulders the best pass catcher on the Patriots? Possibly. He's not. He's going to be. I don't think he'll be very highly owned at all. So I don't think that's a bad play at all. So I think Devontae Parker is a fair look for New England, but we'll move on. All right, Ravens Jets. This is a very interesting game. So obviously no Zach Wilson here. Most expensive guy is Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson is, when we look at the Baltimore running backs, Gus Edwards is out. J.K. Dobbins off of an injury is questionable. Lamar Jackson is going to have to run the ball a lot. He's going to have to do a lot himself. Lamar Jackson in a contract year. Lamar Jackson coming off of an injury. Lamar Jackson's got a lot to prove. Now he's playing a Jets team who I'm higher on than most, to be honest. I'm higher on the Jets than most. But they don't have Zach Wilson. I don't know what the morale is in the New York Jets camp is. Is it high? Is it low? I mean, they know they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but they're pretty optimistic. I feel like so what you're going to do in this game, you're going to play Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson's going to do it all. But besides that, we're going to go Lamar Jackson. Do you want to pay 6'8" for Mark Andrews? No, you don't. I don't think you want to do that. You want to go down to, I think Bateman is very fair. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 from Minnesota. He had a breakout season last year. I wouldn't say breakout, but he had a good season last year for Minnesota. Minnesota Golden Gophers, not Minnesota Vikings. So I like Rashad Bateman and Lamar stack. And if you want to chase that with Flacco, be my guest. Be my guest. I think Joe Flacco at 4'8", possibly playing from behind. We've seen Joe Flacco play in big games and do things. So I think the Ravens are going to have a lead. Jets are probably going to have to be throwing the ball. Joe Flacco at 4'8". Who's playing Joe Flacco? Not many people. I think Joe Flacco is a fair play at 4'8". Am I going to be the guy to play Joe Flacco? No, I have my quarterback. But I don't think Joe Flacco is a bad play. And if you want to chase it with a Jets pass catcher, I mean, Elijah Moore's a stud. Corey Davis, maybe. I don't know. I don't think you want to chase it with think you want to play a Jets pass catcher. I don't think you want to play Breece Hall either because I don't know actually how many touches he's going to get with Michael Carter there and it being his first game. But I love Breece Hall. I've been high on Breece Hall since his Iowa State days. I thought he was the best running back in the last 2 years of his college. Hot take. So yeah, I think it's I don't mind if you want to just do the Raven stack, the Lamar and Bateman. I would say Bateman over Andrews, and that helps salary too. If you don't want to do that, play Flacco straight up. Just play Flacco straight up. That'd be hilarious, and I think you can have some serious leverage playing Flacco straight up. All right, well, moving on to the next game, and here's my game. Here is my game. So first thing I'm going to say before I pull up this, my friend D75, you might be watching, you might not be watching. I watched your show from the other week, and you said that this was your game, and I don't want you to think I'm stealing your bit because if you watch my show with Pat Mayo, my AFC South preview game, I said how I'm going to be placing a bet on Trevor Lawrence to lead the league in passing, how I'm going to be playing every Jags over this year. I love the Jags in DraftKings this year. I love the Jags in every over this year because of the way they're built. I think the Jags have I wouldn't say an elite offense, but a very, very, very high upside offense with a very suspect defense. So what does that lead to? That leads to points on both sides of the ball. So let me just read some of these Jags skill predictions. All right, obviously Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, James Robinson. I love that running back platoon. Then we got Christian Kirk, who just got paid. And then Zay Jones, legit. And then we have Evan Ingram, who is 3,500. Is he like injured? Still, okay. There's weapons in Jacksonville this year. And with that offense and with that bad defense, this is going to lead to points. So what I did, I played Trevor Lawrence in a good majority of my lineups, and I'm stacking him with, let me pull it up. I'm stacking him with Travis Etienne, I believe. Travis Etienne and Marvin Jones. I am playing that triple stack with the Jaguars a lot. And then I'm going to chase it with Antonio Gibson because obviously no Brian Robinson for Washington. You want to go with the Washington receiver? Be my guest. But I think Gibson's going to get a decent amount of touches. I think Gibson's going to score when they're in the red zone. I think this is going to be an over game. I'm probably going to bet the over for this game. Let me see what the total is real quick. So this is my game. And D75, I'm glad we're on the same page. I know you want people to keep it quiet, but this is my game. Over 44, I'm probably going to be playing that as well. And just, you can ask Pat. We talked about it in late July or early August. I'm on the Jags this year heavy. So that's where I'm going with my biggest stack is the Jags Commanders game. All right, we'll move on. This was my game. Browns Panthers. So I'll try not to be biased here. I'm actually not going to be biased at all because I never am. If you know me, I'm a Panthers fan. I've been a Panthers fan my whole life. What are we getting here with the Panthers? We're getting a Baker Mayfield revenge game. That's one thing. We're getting a Baker Mayfield revenge game. What's hilarious is that Deshaun Watson is $6,600 and Baker Mayfield is $5,300. Deshaun Watson is obviously not playing, and Baker Mayfield is $1,300 cheaper. So I've already heard the narrative going around the community. Baker Mayfield revenge game, playing his former team who kind of blackballed him. Sure, be my guest. You want to stack Christian McCaffrey and Baker Mayfield. That's going to be very popular. Maybe play it in cash. I think it's going to be very popular. You want to get a little different? Play some Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb or one or the other. Yeah, I wouldn't play them both. Play some Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb. I think that's a fair price on both of them. But besides that, I don't think there's any other Browns you could play because this Carolina defense is good. It's literally good. You want to play Amari Cooper with Jacoby Brissett? I don't think you should. That'll be really different. I wouldn't play any Cleveland players if it's not a running back. I don't mind obviously the Baker CMC, the Baker DJ Moore stack, the Baker Tommy Tremble stack, Ian Tom. I like the Carolina stacks revenge game. My Baker's got those guys firing. So we will move on to the next game, which is Colts and Texans. So what do we have in the Colts and Texans? We have they 7-point favorites in Houston. I think they're in Houston. So spirits are high. Spirits should be high in Indianapolis. Matt Ryan, new quarterback. Is he an upgrade from Carson Wentz? A lot of people would say not by much. I would say yeah. And I could show you who the nuts play is in this game. Actually, maybe not. The nuts play is down the season. I mean, this is if you play best ball, you have to have this guy. Paris Campbell. I'm at $3,300 Paris Campbell. I'm nervous that they're going to run the ball a lot with Jonathan Taylor, but I love Paris Campbell. I'm going to play him. I have to play him. I just have to play him. I'm playing Paris Campbell, and then I'll make changes. I'm taking out Jarvis Landry for Paris Campbell. I think Paris Campbell is an absolute slam. Like a slam. Yeah. I am just like dumbfounded by how much I like Paris Campbell. Sorry. So Paris Campbell, slam him. I think he's going to be an absolute stud. He's filling in. He's moving up in the depth chart. I think he's going to have a great season this year. Paris Campbell is the guy in this game, in my opinion. Obviously, the Colts, I think, will win this game. I have them as a win the division minus 130. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games left. So Giants at Titans. What do we like in this game? Giants and Titans. Okay. So Derrick Henry, I feel like, is a viable play at 8-6. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot, and Derrick Henry is going to be back, has something to prove with his Titans. They obviously lost in the playoffs last year. Close game. Saquon at 6-1. I would not mind playing both of these running backs up top. I really wouldn't. But besides that, I don't know how much more you can play. Wow, Robert Woods. I don't know if you want to play him with Tannehill. I would say I would go Giants, Titans, running backs, or nothing for me there. All right, we will go to Packers and Vikings. This is another game that I like. I like the Vikings a lot. I bet the Vikings plus 220 to win the division or something like that. Packers defense is fairly suspect. I think the Cousins Jefferson stack is very, very viable. I don't know how popular it will be either because I need to sit back. I'm leaning forward. The Cousins Jefferson stack, I don't know how popular it will be, but I think it's going to be very viable. This is an NFC North that they want to win. This is a Vikings team that's coming out hungry against their biggest rival. Week 1, like playing their rival. It's in Minnesota. I think the Viking stack is very, 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 very valid. And I think Irv Smith's going to have a fire year too. I think Irv Smith scores this week. What's his price? Irv Smith. Oh, it's right there. 3,400. Irv Smith at 3,400, I think, is a great play. Conklin's 35. Yeah, I like Irv Smith. I like that. I'm going to play Jefferson and Irv Smith. Sweet. I'm making changes as we go. This is great. You want to have to research in the show. So I think the Viking stack is good. Cousins, Smith, Jefferson. I'll throw in Osborne if you want to. All right, we have Chiefs at Cardinals. This is going to be probably one of the most popular games on the slate. I mean, as it should be. Chiefs and Cardinals, a high-scoring team. I mean, you know what you're going to get. A lot of people are going to play the Mahomes Kelsey stack, and why wouldn't you? You lost the main option in Hill, so will Kelsey get that many more targets? Probably. You want to play Sky Moore or Juju? Be my guess. There's probably going to be a lot of points in this game. On the Arizona side of things, Kyler's a great fantasy player. He just scores rushing touchdowns. He makes it happen, and rushing touchdowns are huge. I wouldn't really suggest. I mean, you could because there's going to be points in this game. Murray, Connor. I would just go Murray straight up, though. All right, that's all I have to say about that game. Probably not going to be touching this game. Going to be a little bit too chalky. Raiders, Chargers. A little rematch of what was the game of the year besides the Bills-Chiefs game. So this game is going to be awesome. It should be really fun. Eckler is the highest priced guy here, I think, for good reason. I actually might play me some Eckler at 8-2 now that I have some salary to work with. I love Eckler, actually. There's so many things I could do. I just play John Taylor. That's what I did. So in this Vegas Chargers game, I think the Chargers are an absolute juggernaut this year on both sides of the ball. I think they're going to be awesome. Not a hot take. It's a very popular take. You want to go – I think this game is viable to do anything you want. Like running backs, receivers, quarterbacks. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. What is the total here? It's 425 game. Total on this game is 52.5. That's a fairly high total. So this is a good game to target both sides of the ball. I think everything is open. I'm not going to say don't play this guy, don't play this guy. I think any Raiders, any Chargers are viable. What did we see last time they played? It was an absolute shootout. I wouldn't say shootout. It was an amazing game. Went to overtime. That was the game that everyone wanted them to tie, so they would both get into the playoffs. That was an insane game. So they're rematching in week 1, 425. I love the Raiders and the Chargers. I think this is a great game to target if you want to stack on both sides of the ball. I won't get too into detail because I like all of it. All right, Bucks Cowboys. Love the Cowboys here. I bet the Cowboys at +1.5 already. Last year, I bet the Cowboys money line and +9 last year, and they almost won. They lost on like a game-winning field goal, I think, week 1 to the Bucks in Tampa, and the wheels kind of fell off. So why aren't they popping up here? Just not here. Don't know why they're not here. Am I in the wrong slate or something? All right, whatever. Bucks and Cowboys. Who do I like in the Bucks and Cowboys? Zeke is someone I like. Zeke is someone who's going under the radar, and we've seen Zeke have 40-point games. We've had Zeke play behind Pollard and look fat and do nothing. But I think if there's ever time to go back to Zeke, it's now on a Bucks team who is looking for a Super Bowl, but they're a little shaky. I would say they're more shaky offensively, but I would say that Zeke is still a viable option, catching passes out of the backfield and scoring when they get close to the red zone. So the Zeke Dak stack is not going to be popular, and there could be a lot of points in this game. So I think that's a viable option to go Zeke Dak. This is Sunday Night Football. That's why I can't see it, because it's Sunday Night Football. All right, let's see if I can go back to this and find prices for this game. Lobby. NFL, because we have one more game to talk about, so I might as well pull it up. Here we go. All right. So last game is the Seahawks and the Broncos. I wish this game wasn't Monday Night Football because this is kind of ugly as we get. I mean, we get Russell Wilson revenge game back in Seattle, I guess, is a narrative. You want to play that? Be my guest. What are we going to get from the Broncos? We're going to get a fairly sound defense, but besides that, Geno Smith and Drew Lock, I don't know what to say. Like, they don't even know who's starting on them. Elsewhere in this game, I don't want to. I don't think you can play Metcalf here. I don't think you can play Metcalf. I think the Russell Wilson, Courtland Sutton stack is fair. I wouldn't chase it with any Seahawks. This is an ugly game. I wish it wasn't Monday Night Football. That's all I'll say. And maybe I'll have different thoughts come showdown, but I would say Russ Wilson, Sutton, if anything. But so I'll run through my favorite plays on the slate real quick. Guys, I'm going to be playing in a majority of my lineups, some targets I circled. So I will pull the screen off, and finish it up with saying some of my favorite plays on the slate. So my favorite quarterback on the slate is Trevor Lawrence, $5,600. I think he is a hammer all season long, and we're going to start with him week 1. Trevor Lawrence, my favorite quarterback on the slate. I played Jonathan Taylor heavily at 9-1 because I played him a lot with Travis Etienne. You know what I said about that Jaguars stack all season long, D75. I mean, you saw, you heard. So the Jaguar stack, I've loved since I talked about it with Pat. Jaguar stack for sure. Wide receivers, love low-owned wide receiver, low-owned pivot play, Paris Campbell. Play Paris Campbell. I think he's going to give you a lot of leverage. He has 75-yard touchdown, 9-route potential in him, and that's what you want in the DFS. Justin Jefferson, stack him with Kirk Cousins if you want to. I'm not playing Kirk Cousins. Stack him with Kirk Cousins. I'm going to stack him with Irv Smith. I like those Vikings for sure. So speaking of tight ends, I also love Kels. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. I'm going to call him Kels. I think it's funnier. So Travis Kelce, I think he's a great option because no more Hill. He's going to get a lot more targets. Is he going to get covered more? Possibly, but we see it's possible to have a guy in the game plan who you know is going to get the ball and still get targets. Saw what Kevin O'Connell did with Cooper Kupp last year. It was week 16, 17, 18. Everyone knew the ball was going to Cooper Kupp, and how was Cooper Kupp 19 yards open? Kevin O'Connell. Now Kevin O'Connell's in Minnesota. That's why I like that Minnesota stack so much. And then defensively, whoever you have salary for, I like the Bengals defense, the Browns defense, Broncos defense. And then from there, that's my plays. You went through every game. So that about wraps it up. That was 30 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. First episode. I'm going to be bringing on guests here every single week, hopefully. So You know where to find me. Any questions, reach out to me at Matt Gannon. If you don't follow me, definitely follow me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Catch you guys next time.